Right.
2010 Rondy Sprint Open Class World Championships are here with Iditarod champion Jeff King. Jeff, what's your impression of the race so far?
Well, it's very fun. You know, it's easily twice its speed we go on at the start of the Iditarod. And yet, fast as it is, some of the corners that are tough with two sleds during the Iditarod are a little easier when you're going twice as fast and a sled that drives like a little flexible flyer.
You don't get pulled to the inside of some of them.
You can zoom right past them.
We have a clip of you, one leg on the ground, coming around the 4th and Cordova there, and that probably will make the highlight reel. You had to do the step turn, I think is the technical term for it.
Well, I don't know the step turn technical term, but the sled, I really noticed, and I think it was on that first corner. That was the third time I've driven a sprint team. The third time has been with this team, and they waxed the runners yesterday that they didn't do in training, and it really felt like I was on ball bearings.
Yeah. Now, how do you see, talking about the dogs, you know, these dogs and your dogs, they all have the heart of a sled dog, right? They have that intrinsic desire, that what sporting dog people call drive. But your dogs do a different thing than Streeper's dogs do. What do you see as the main difference in that?
I think it's clear these dogs know they're going. You know, I had a couple of stops out there, and I was amazed how intolerant these dogs were of stopping. They were calmer at the beginning than they are out there if you stop. I mean, they know that this is not where we stop, period.
Yeah.
They know in here, you know, they were willing to understood the program. Well, my team, if I stopped them out there, I'd get them to stand there. They'd stand there and go, he's doing something.
Well, it's a matter of life and death sometimes too, right? You need that team to get to back to civilization.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want them to take off without.
But you know, this was an absolute blast. The trail is, you know, I was worried about what it'd be like going that fast in the sleds, but I've been able to transfer my experience in sled handling. It hasn't taken long. I haven't dumped yet, and it's all the same stuff, different cadence.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, you've spent a few hours on a sled, a sled is a sled. Now, I was listening to a radio interview with Buddy, and he was talking about the exchange of information. It sounded as if, you know, you were learning something about sprint racing from him, but you have a knowledge of dogs that, you know, is inexhaustible, and it sounded like he was pulling a lot of that information, you know, that he was grateful that he was...
You're going to have to do that one again.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
It sounded like in the interview with Buddy that you were also giving tips to him about dogs, and you guys were talking dogs, and is there an exchange of information both ways there?
Well, I'm sure there's an exchange of information. One of the things that has been a little bit of confirmation and a surprise. I mean, they're putting their weakest dogs in the same place I put them in my team. You know, he's telling me go out slow because you want to finish hard. I'm going, well, God, I've been doing
that's my mantra.
That's been my mantra, exactly. And so there's a lot of, one of the biggest things that's it's hard for me, and I'm surprised, is on a sled with my team, I can tell the difference between 9.5 and 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference between 17 and 20.
Yeah.
I just go, if it wasn't for the GPS, I wouldn't know what speed we're going.
Yeah.
And obviously it's critical.
Yeah.
And I think it's ironic that Iditarod doesn't let you use the GPS because I don't think it has a lot of value. Here, it clearly is really valuable, at least to me. Maybe Buddy can tell the difference between 17 and 17.
Well, I think everyone uses them, you know, and a lot of distance drivers think that, I think us sprint guys are a little crazy for looking at these things after and analyzing it so much, but you can see when it's hard to tell between 18, 19 miles an hour, 18 and 20.
Well, it was interesting, just this morning, Buddy came to me and said he was studying my split times on the race yesterday, and I'm going, wow, what a great idea, you know, and he goes, but speed means something here. Speed means very little on the Iditarod, as you know. You know, Mackie is yet to have the fastest team on the trail and has been dominating the race. So speed is not the key, but there's a lot to be learned from it. And I still think that the whole GPS thing in the Iditarod has to do with somebody's misconception that we need it for navigation.
Right.
And they don't know enough about GPS.
Yeah. Let's talk about the dogs for a second here. You've got Alaskan Huskies. These are Alaskan Huskies. Maybe there's a little more hound bred into these.
Yeah, maybe.
How many generations apart do you think they are? If you took your dogs that have that insane desire to run and pull, if you had to breed them for this kind of thing, it's just a process of natural selection through a breeding program. How many generations apart do you think these dogs are? Sprint dogs and distance dogs.
Boy, my feeling would be it would be over 10 and maybe 20.
Yeah. And that's about how far they've been diverging, because I've listened to some symposium tapes from 10, 15 years ago, like Carl Huntington talking about, hey, a good Iditarod dog is a good Rondy dog. But as the sport has evolved and maybe kind of veered off in different directions to more specialized directions, I don't think that's the case anymore, is it?
Well, I'm not sure I know what a good...
Go ahead, sorry.
Okay.
I'm not sure I know... I'm not the source for what a good Rondy dog is, but when I see Buddy's team hit their feet on the ground here, I'd be a little worried of taking that team in the Iditarod. Their coat, their temperament, they look light bone. They don't look sturdy as and as rugged, and clearly they don't need to be. He's got dogs that need a coat yesterday at 20 above. That is insane. But they are. I've been so impressed with the dog team. The Streepers have basically handed me a sled and said, "That's your leaders' names, and here's the speed we'd like to see you go, and we think you'll be happy with." I mean, yesterday was the first time I passed a team with their team, and I had 18 dogs there, and I'm going, well, that could be a big, giant cluster of mess, and they just went right on by, team after team.
They're known for well-trained teams and being master tacticians with everything, as you are in your genre.
And it's been a real pleasure and made this real easy. I mean, honest to God, I slept till 9 o'clock this morning.
No nerves. Yeah. Well, my last question, and thanks for the time, Jeff. Would you do it again?
Absolutely. I'm not sure that economically, I don't know that I think they're getting a fair price, and yet they're trying to this is a byproduct of them trying to make a first-class team.
Yeah.
But I don't want to train a Rondy team anytime soon. But I would certainly do this again. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, great. Thanks a lot, Jeff. I appreciate it.